Hi guys, welcome back to This African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by, and if you're new to the channel, you're welcome. So guys, there's a lot of people who I think majority of the time, sometimes some people actually feel nervous to, make a video on certain topics because they really are afraid of attacks. But I see a lot of people who actually make comments on such things. So many people have made comments saying that they are really not going to they're going on a tax strike. They're not paying their taxes. They're not doing filing for tax next year in 2024. And some are actually like, oh, you better not do that because you're going to jail. While most people are like, they're done. They're not doing it. And I'm going to say there's like different thoughts on this, but majority of people I'm seeing more like the first time I'm seeing a lot of people actually saying, you know what, we're done with taxes, we're not filing for tax. While some are even asking questions like, let us just know, like, are you guys really doing it so they don't be the only ones doing it and not paying for it? And then at the end of the day, they'll be in trouble because they believe that when a lot of people do something together, when like there's a lot of crowd doing it at the same time, then it's going to have more effect. But if you're the only one doing it, then you'll be easily punished because you're the only one. But when it's a lot of people, like how many people can they deal with? So that is what they're saying. So we're going to be checking out this video. But before we get right into this video, make sure you please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and turn on your notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get right into it.
I'm not paying taxes in 2024.
Hallelujah. Hey, I just say that I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this topic and speak on this topic, but I want to nominate myself as the spokesperson where we could come get the information from. Because one thing I'm going to do is get some information when everybody say what we ain't going to do. And what we ain't going to do is fund genocide in 2023. So far, I've been looking on content creators' posts who've been talking about this tax strike for literally months. And we've all decided that no one should be paying taxes in 2024. This upcoming tax season, do not pay any taxes. If you've already been having taxes taken out of your check throughout the year, it is okay to file to get your taxes back. But do not pay if you have been exempt from taxes taken out of your check. There was supposed to be a rent strike that happened at the beginning of this inflation period that did not happen because a lot of people felt like they didn't want to be the only one not paying their rent and get evicted. And honestly, I can't be mad at that. But what I will say is we don't need that many people to collectively be behind this idea for this tax strike to happen. Even if a few of us weren't paying our rent, they would still feel it. Don't fall for the trap. Don't listen to anyone telling you it's not going to work. Just keep talking, keep sharing, keep engaging with this topic so that we can all get the word out. If you all want me to keep making videos on this topic to keep y'all informed, let me know and I definitely will do. Where we could come get the information from.
Baby, listen. As someone who I'm sure is probably older than you, this ain't it. You want to try Jesus before you try the IRS, because this is not the route you want to play with. I know that being young and being ambitious is a great trait, but mama, you got 12,000 followers and you need to be very responsible with those 12,000 followers. You need to make better decisions, because telling people to not pay taxes in 2024, mama, no, baby, no, this ain't it. If you have a job, those people can garnish your wages so that you don't have nothing. They come after everything that you have. And I'm pretty sure that most young people do not have as much as older people. So older people are probably going to tell you this is a ridiculous idea. I'm a little bit older than you. Mama, this is a ridiculous idea. Do not do this. Do not play with the IRS. Do not play with your future that you barely got started. Do not withhold paying your taxes that you probably already paid with your checks anyway. So they know how to come after your money anyway, sweetie. These people are much smarter than the plan that y'all have been putting in place over the past couple of months. They've been around here for quite some time. And based off of the information that you have given, I know that you have not been studying this long enough to even try to make a decision like this, to even try to galvanize 12,000 people to make this decision and ruin their lives. Don't do this. Don't do this. You will not win. There's no way you gonna win, sweetie. You won't. I really think that in so many ways we have failed the younger generation. Millennials, Gen X, Boomers, Silent Gen, we have failed the younger generation because between this tax strike and the Osama bin Laden letters, something is wrong. Something is really, really wrong for people to be. What is happening?
I know I'm not the only one that won't be choosing to pay taxes in 2024, especially not for a pointless ass genocide that only influences hatred. Oh, well, Hamas did this. Oh, well, Israel did this. Oh, really? So the people just automatically have to be involved, right? In foreign feuds that were escalated by Western nations? I mean, think about it, people. $6 billion given to a nation that specifically supplies the Hamas group. I'm not going to label them as a terrorist organization because that's ridiculous. The only reason anybody actually thinks that because they rely on Western media and the news to actually paint that image for them. Because we're so spoiled as the Western nation's population that we actually can't have an opinion for ourselves and rely on the news and the media to actually give that to us. And yet, so many people become so prideful, but yet in reality, you have no right to actually be cocky. You have no right to be arrogant because in reality, you rely on central government to give you anything. How many people watching this video have their own garden, have their own natural herbal remedies, don't rely on pharmaceutical companies, don't work a 9-to-5 for an infrastructural society that your daddy and your mommy was forced to build, which is only in their favor. Then you force yourself to actually believe that you're actually chasing your dreams and going into a field that'll change the world, but in reality, the medical field in itself is just a giant facade. Natural herbal remedies, wisdom, the utmost knowledge that you could possibly accumulate, all stolen and then turned around and twisted within their favor, all for people to have fucking side effects and withdrawals for the rest of their lives. When in actuality, you could just be taking specific dosages of certain plants and actually benefiting your health, really benefiting your health. And since we're talking about that, it's actually pretty cool because here in a couple weeks, I am going to actually be releasing an official novel here on TikTok. It's going to be an ebook, but anybody who actually purchases the ebook will actually be getting the physical copy as well. But it's a plant and natural herbal remedy book with every single amount of dosage that you could possibly need. It has over 120 plants that can actually benefit any illness or disease that you think that you supposedly have. Your body can be naturally healed, and we can rely on the natural green earth to be able to provide that for us, but we just choose not to because it's easier to feel comfortable in the hands of a central government. And you can be as prideful and patriotic about this country as you possibly want, but you know I'm right. And in reality, all of your tax dollars you've been working so hard for in this infrastructural society is, like I stated, going towards a genocide, towards innocent civilians that don't belong in the middle of this anyway. A feud between individuals that have had this feud for so long simply because they don't agree with each other's beliefs. And I'm sure it doesn't help with the Western influence over there as well, with everybody pushing their religions in everybody else's faces, which is what happens every single time the Western nations get involved with anybody else's nation. They start to influence their nation. Oh, well, this is good for you, and we're going to push an energy sufficient society and a green earth, blah, 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 but in reality, we're just going to burn your shit down, and then we're going to rebuild it in our favor. I mean, you can see that very clearly with JP Morgan rebuilding Ukraine. But yeah, JP Morgan can't even pay out $300 million to the Jeffrey Epstein victims, huh? Same Jeffrey Epstein of which Larry Page, which was the ex-CEO of Google, was an advisor for. Makes you question everything, doesn't it? Yeah, as you should. And you know what? I got 1,400 more courses that I want to set up for certain individuals that actually want to dive into a different part of their life, a new part of them. I want you to be able to actually discover a new part of you. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I am releasing an official novel for plant and natural herbal remedies, but I also have a novel on here already, which is called TikTok Success and Self-Growth. And what it mainly entitles is growing yourself within your own platform, building yourself in your own favor, and having people look up to you the same way that you look up to unfortunate idols in society. It makes no sense because each and every one of us can be our own idol. We just don't believe in ourselves because we don't have the correct methods in front of us to be able to do so. But I can provide that for you. I get real personal with these courses, do know that. And I've worked my ass off endlessly for the past year with my marketing analytics team, studying TikTok's algorithm coded system to the point of where you can have success within any niche here on TikTok. I'm very cocky with that. I provide the utmost knowledge and wisdom for you within this book, 23 pages of everything you possibly need to know to get started on your own journey. And like I stated, it's not just on TikTok, because the TikTok part is more so becoming comfortable with who you are and starting to discover a new part of you as you break out of those barriers and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And then that's where the self-growth part is. I think everybody will actually really appreciate it. I already have 700 people that have purchased it already, and they've gotten them into a position of where they can provide for themselves. They are sustainable on their own. They are independent. And that's what I want everybody to believe that they could be. You could be independent. You could break off into your own comfort zone where you can actually be happy and not just comfortable. Not looking forward to a paycheck every 2 weeks. And the TikTok part is really cool because you can get involved in the creativity program once you hit 10K followers. And I mean, before you even go into the creativity program, which pays you graciously, I mean, let me tell you. But before you even go into the creativity program, you can open your own TikTok shop here. You can produce a side of you to be released to the public, to millions of people who will buy that specific item from you instantly. Simply because they love your personality, they love who you are, and they love what you bring to the table. I mean, obviously you have to bring something unique, you know what I mean? But every single one of us has something special that we can share with the world. And this book in itself helps you understand how to bring that to the table and how to do it with confidence. Because living in this society right now and relying on this economy to be able to sustain for you and your children is not the way. And it's not logical. It's not smart, and everybody needs to start using cognitive thinking and break out of the reality that they've confined themselves in for so long. If you're interested in any of the books that I spoke about, go into my bio. You can get started on one of the courses that I can set up for you right now. We'll log down on what's important to you, what you like, what your specific hobbies are, what you want to present to the world, you know what I mean? You can do that. You're able to do that, and I believe in you because I'm going to be right here by your side. As you can also see for yourself, I've accumulated much success on my own in 8 different niches here on TikTok. I know what I'm doing, and marketing and analytics team around me, it does as well.
Girl, let's talk about this tax strike that's going around on TikTok, child. Now, I personally feel like the world will never get better as long as white men are running it, but that's just my personal opinion. And I also do not support what's happening in all these countries with these wars and just unaliving innocent people. That's absolutely insane and disgusting to me. But what I don't agree with is not paying your taxes to prove a point or to go on strike, because here's what's going to happen. So when you choose not to pay your taxes and you owe the IRS a substantial amount of money, they will do two things. They're going to contact your employer and they're going to start garnishing your paychecks. They can do that. And then they're going to contact your bank and they're going to seize your bank account. So I need y'all to be a little bit more strategic about what y'all are trying to do. I think that y'all need to find another method, because taxes is something that you cannot bankrupt. And then also, for all the people that are on government assistance that's trying to get out of paying taxes, y'all do realize that the tax dollars is what's feeding you and your kids and putting a roof over your head. You get that, right? Baby, do y'all thing. Me and my clients, we will be paying our taxes. Listen.
Are you seeing the number of people that are calling for a tax strike in 2024 because we do not want to let our government fund the of millions of people? And I'm curious also if the many billionaires are going to be okay with paying their fair share of taxes, because this is a cause that they can finally get.
On a realistic note, I think it is very annoying that the average person who is struggling, I don't think we have average now these days. It's either you're poor or you're rich. I think it's sad to see that, poor people actually have to be paying for taxes, while the ones who really have the money to pay those taxes are really not paying those taxes. They're just there maybe paying bribe and stuff, which they call lobbying, and that is the only thing that they do. And they don't participate. It's almost as if the laws that are actually set aside, the laws does not apply to the people who actually make the law. It applies to you, not to them, because it's not for them. And it's crazy when I see this people who make laws and their children break the law, and then people are expecting that they get punished. Are you crazy? Or you think that they will take their children to actually go and fight wars or things like that? No, it's meant for you. And that is, people don't understand to stay in their own place and understand that some things are, when they make laws and set it aside, it's not for them.
Here's how to avoid paying taxes legally. Hi, my name is Nikki, not Nike. I paid off $120,000 in debt. It was in Business Insider. And while I was doing that, I learned so much about financial literacy. And I'm so passionate about it. I want to teach it to you guys. So let's do it. A lot of us don't do our taxes because we're so afraid of the money we have to pay back at the end of the year. But there's so many loopholes. Remember, the tax system in America is just full of gray area. It's not black and white. It might be illegal for some people and then legal for some people. But guess who it's always usually legal for? The rich. We hear things like eat the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Well, guess what? You can't tax the rich because they don't have earned income. They have passive income. And passive income usually comes in the form of cash flow. And you can't really tax cash. Paying taxes is just pretty much how well you can argue your case. And the rich understands how to do that very well. So the first thing you're going to do is get an LLC. Having an LLC allows you to bypass the system. Remember, this country is built on what? The American dream, capitalism. It's made for people who chase business. When COVID happened, who did the government rescued? They didn't rescue the 9-to-5ers. They didn't rescue essential workers. They rescued small business owners because this country is built on people who can sustain it by owning business. So figure out a way to open an LLC. Or you can open a C Corp, you can open a trust fund, but LLC is the easiest way. Now, once you open an LLC, you're going to get 3 or 4 credit cards under that LLC. This is why you need to clean up your credit. Clean up your credit. Clean up your credit. Once you open an LLC, you can write off everything. As an influencer, I write off everything. My hair, you guys see how I get my hair done every single 2 weeks? It's a tax write-off. My car, I have a Rover. You want to get a car that's over 5,000 pounds, you can get a Rover, you can get a Jeep, you can get anything big, okay? 5,000 pounds. Write-off. Every gas I put in it, write-off. Insurance, write-off. My nails, write-off. My lipstick, write-off, okay? I write off everything. My food, I bought a house, property tax, write-off. My food in this house is a write-off. This room that I turned into a closet is an office space. It's a write-off. Everything is a write-off. I write off everything. Every single thing. My lashes are a freaking write-off, okay? I write off everything. You write off everything. You take it to your accountant afterwards. You guys sit, you argue back and forth on what you think you can write off. There's an app that I use. I'll put it up here, self-employment. You go back and forth because your accountants, they're going to try to convince you not to write off certain things, but honey, I'm Nigerian. That's why I only do Nigerian accountants or Jewish accountants, honey. Everything is a write-off. And I promise you, if you ever do get audits, you just have to argue your case. You argue with a letter and that's it. And usually they just toss it. They're like, okay, well, I haven't really paid taxes and I don't even know how long now because I know how to write off everything. But again, I also did taxes myself for 6 years. I did it for my friends and family, and I used to put ads on Craigslist to do taxes. I'm really good at doing taxes. But remember, this country is built for people who own businesses. So start a small business out of your house. I don't care. Sell stuff on Poshmark and name it a business and then apply to get an LLC. And once you have an LLC, you pretty much never really pay taxes anymore. And you know who taught us that? Donald freaking Trump. That man has never paid taxes in his life. I'm going to tell you this as clear as possible. The law is there for you to bend it, to twist it, to drop it like it's hot on it, okay? Do whatever you need to do to the law. Twist it, bend it, pop it, lock it. Just don't break it, whatever you do. Bend it as far as you can. That's what the rich do. Do not break it, though, because you won't last a day in jail, honey. I don't look good in orange either. You won't last a day in jail, but you can bend it. That's what the rich do. They know how to move around the laws of this America, of this country, because a lot of the laws are in gray areas. So stay in that gray zone and you'll be fine. Bend it, pop it, lock it, lock it, lock it. Bend it, pop it, lock it, lock it, lock it. Just don't go to prison. Oh my goodness.
It is simply because they're actually looking at the economy and they're like, wait, this money, at the end of the day, it's not like the money is not, they are not using it to take care of me. When I pay for all these taxes and do everything, I'm not being taken care of. I'm still struggling. Like the government does not care about them. And you can literally see, you can just sit down and see where the money actually goes to, and see that at the end of the day, that money does not really touch or affect your life. They don't really use it to actually do things for you people. It's more of them taking it to a total, like it's going outside to another different place, to a place that you will definitely not, like let's say you had a choice to pay that money and decide where it goes to, you definitely will not let your money go into those things that they are actually using those money for. So that is the reason why people are like, they are done, because the government does not care about them. They don't really understand that they are struggling. They just keep skyrocketing all the prices and doing all sort of things. So why should they pay the taxes? I'm just explaining why most people are doing it, because I noticed that there's like some misconception. People actually just generally assume that, okay, the reason why everybody's doing it is because of this. No, there's so many reasons why people are actually saying this. So that's it. I wanted to show you guys how like people have different opinion. There are some that are like, hey, like, are you crazy? Why are you going to decide not to file for taxes? Like, are you crazy? So while some are like, no, they're not doing it. So I mean we live in a world where everybody have different opinion, different thoughts. While there are people who are very fearless, there are people that are very scared and afraid, there are people who really do not know the power of togetherness, there are people who really think that just exclude yourself. So there's just different thoughts. That's just what I want to show you guys. By the end of the day, you guys should let me know what your thoughts are. And for y'all, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And also, I'll see you guys on the next one, because you gotta be there. Bye.